What's up, guys? Today we are reviewing the brand new Rogue Air Rhino. We picked two of these bad boys up. I'm going to give you my first impressions as a gym owner and a coach. I'm going to tell you all the things that I love about this, go through some things that I think that could be improved. We're not only going to go through the full review, I'm going to show you how you can incorporate this into your training program to build strength, build muscle, use it as a conditioning tool, and use this versatile piece and incorporate it into your training. What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going through the full review of the Rogue Air Rhino. This is something that I've been super excited for Rogue to release. They've been teasing it for a while. We went and we ordered it as soon as they launched it. We ordered two of them for our personal training and small group training gym. And I want to go through my full review. I've had some good time to use it, not only in my own workouts, but also my clients' workouts. Very versatile. There's lots of great things about the Rhino, so I want to talk about that, give my full in-depth review, and also talk about, if I think this is worth it. And at the end of the video, show you some ways you can incorporate this into your training. Now, after you're done watching the video today, guys, if you guys are interested in purchasing a Rogue Air Rhino, I'll leave my affiliate link down in the comment section below. It's not going to change the price that you pay, but it does help support this channel. And if you do end up going through my affiliate link, I want to help you out in return. Order through my affiliate link, send a screenshot of your order to Jordan at Fit Grind Reviews, and I'll give you my full guide on the Rogue Air Rhino. Different supersets, different exercises, different ways that I'm incorporating this into my program, not only myself, but also my clients. So I'll give you that full guide for free if you guys end up helping me out and ordering through my link. With that said, let's hop into the review of this awesome new piece. Now, this is so much more than a belt squat machine. I think that's one of the biggest pros of a machine like this, is that really at the bottom, it's just a carabiner that you could do belt squats, you could do deadlifts, you could do lunges, you can do bicep curls, you can do upright rows, you can do push-ups, you can do dips, you can do pull-ups. The sky is really the limit with a machine like this. And I really think that that is one of the biggest pros, is the versatility. When we're buying equipment here at the gym, we want to buy stuff that has more than one function, or a lot of the stuff that we buy has more than one function. Yes, you're going to buy things like a leg extension and a leg press that are pretty, one-dimensional in their use. But this is something that it doesn't take up a ton of floor space, but there's so many different exercises that you can do. I love that the footprint is not super big. Like I said, we have two of them in our gym, and our personal training gym is about 2,500 square foot. So every square inch has to make sense. We try to optimize it, and it doesn't take up a ton of space. That's another pro that I really like about this machine. Overall, the look really matches the name. I think the Rogue Air Rhino carries this hard look and hard sound, and I really think that the look matches it well. I think it looks awesome. Rogue did a ton of branding on this machine. I love that they went with the black and the white Rogue emblem. So overall, I think it looks freaking awesome. Now, another great thing about this, like I said, is this is simply just a carabiner with concentric resistance. So there's going to be no resistance on the way down. There's no resistance on the eccentric, but there is going to be resistance on the way up, and it's going to be variable. So you have a couple different options. Obviously, you can use the damper setting that you would normally use on like a rower or a skier or a biker. It uses the same flywheel and air resistance, but you can also engage what's called Rhino mode. And this is something that makes this machine so versatile. Engaging Rhino mode gives you a magnetic resistance, and it gives you up to 1,200 pounds of resistance, which really, for anybody, that's going to be plenty of resistance, whether you're doing a belt squat, whether you're doing a deadlift, whether you're doing a bicep curl, lunge, any movement that you're doing. If you have Rhino mode on, it's freaking heavy. I can attest to that. My best deadlift is 550. And when I'm doing deadlifts on this thing, it's challenging. Like, the harder you push on this machine, the harder that you drive into the plate, the more that it pushes back on you when you have Rhino mode engaged. For those of you that are wondering, like, is this going to be enough? Is it going to be light for me? This is something that for myself and a lot of clients that I train, that I have some clients that are very strong that are able to use this, and it's plenty of resistance. So that's just something that I want to mention about that. And as far as the unit itself, like I said, it's versatile. So really any attachment that you have, you can attach down to the carabiner. So you can get a straight bar that they also sell to do deadlifts and bicep curls and upright rows and a bunch of other movements. They're also going to offer their belt squat, which these two, I think, are the essentials for a machine like this with the Rogue Rhino. This is going to come with the machine. This is going to be an add-on. But I do think that this is a great option. I think that it's going to add more versatility to your workouts versus if you just have the belt. But then again, if you do have a straight bar like this and you already have an attachment like this, as long as it has a carabiner, you can attach it right down to the bottom and you can use it. So if you have an easy bar, or if you have different rope attachments or single handle attachments, you can attach it down to the carabiner and it's going to work on this machine. So super versatile, super cool that Rogue integrated that to where you can use different attachments and get really creative. I mean, you could do so many different exercises, so many different pairings on this machine. It's more than just a belt squat. I think that the Rogue Rhino originally is looked at as traditionally like a standard for a belt squat machine. And really, it's used a lot for a belt squat. There's other uses for it, but this just gives you so much more versatility, being able to switch out the handles, being able to change the resistance depending on the athlete. I think that that's something that is so versatile that I really love about this machine. Where we're using it a lot of times in our personal training sessions, and we're using it in our small group training sessions, it's very easy to change from client to client. So say that you have 10 different clients in a group class and they have 10 different strength levels. This is going to adapt to each user, because the harder that they push into the plate, the harder it's going to push back on them, especially if you have Rhino mode engaged. It's going to be plenty of resistance no matter what exercise you're doing. I think another really cool thing about the Rogue Air Rhino is the monitor. Rogue did a really good job with this monitor. It tracks a lot of different metrics. You can track calories just like you would on a rower or a bike or a skier. You can track your wattage. You can track your distance in feet. You can also track your pounds or your force that you produce. When I'm programming the Rogue Air Rhino for strength, that's really what I'm using a lot of the times for my clients and for myself, is using the total force in pounds that you're producing. And you can change the monitor a bunch of different ways. One screen that I really like is it has your reps. So say you're doing 10 reps, each rep it's going to have a bar. It's going to show you exactly how much weight that you're producing and how many pounds of force you're producing. But it's also going to show a graph as you start to fatigue, where your first rep was, where your 10th rep was, or your 5th rep was. Overall, the monitor is just really good. It has lots of different functions. You can go and do intervals. You can go in and do set workouts and program different workouts and do a customizable list. So overall, I really like the monitor on this machine. I think that it gives you enough information to where you can have some variety, but it also gives you the information that you need to program it for strength over time, trying to focus on getting stronger. Because yes, you can program this for conditioning, but you can also use it as a great strength tool. Track your weight and your total force production, track that over time, just like you would weight on a barbell or weight on a leg press. You can track that and try to focus on getting stronger and beating your previous best. And that's something that I think makes it so unique, because it works just like any other machine or any other barbell will, because you can focus on overloading, you can focus on getting stronger over time. And, from a coach's perspective, that's a huge pro, because anything that doesn't allow progression, you're not going to be able to get stronger. You're not going to be able to build muscle. You're not going to be able to progress in any way. This monitor is a great way you can track your total force production and try and focus on getting stronger over time, which is a huge pro. Like I mentioned earlier too, the customization is awesome on this machine. So it customizes very easy. You can change out different attachments. You can come over and you can move the arms depending on the height of the individual. So say that you have a taller athlete, you lift it up. Shorter athlete, you lift those handles down. It's very easy to maneuver, so you can lift it up. It has turf tires, and it's not super heavy to where you can maneuver this around. A lot of times that's what we'll do is we'll have it off the side while it's not being used. But when we're using it in group classes or personal training sessions, it's very easy to move out, use it, and put it away when it's not in use. So far, the feedback from clients, every single client that we've had try it has loved it. It's challenging, it's unique, it's different. The concentric only resistance is very different, where it really forces you and rewards if you explode out of the bottom of the rep. So if you're using this for explosiveness, if you're using this for plyometric type exercises or trying to build plyometric strength, this can be really good. And I think that the feedback from clients has been really awesome so far. I personally love it. My wife loves it. All the clients that we train here have really liked it. It's unique, it's different, and it just is a really great overall machine. There's so much versatility that you can do with this machine. You can add so many different exercises that really the sky is the limit. And I think as a trainer, that's what really is exciting for me, because there's so many ways that we can keep the workouts fun. We can keep it interesting. For most people, if you have a home gym, you're trying to buy stuff that you could do multiple exercises with. If you buy one machine, it takes up floor space and it takes up garage space or basement gym space. It's dedicated to that one machine that does one exercise. This does so many different exercises, and that's going to allow you to keep your workouts fun, keep your workouts fresh, add a lot of variety, and just keep you training and having fun while you're doing it. Assembly-wise, I know a lot of people online said that they had a lot of trouble with assembly. I've assembled a ton of weight equipment, so I do have a lot of experience in that area. I would say that it wasn't horrible. I would carve out from the time that you unbox it, the time that you finish it, I would carve out at least an hour and a half to 2 hours for the first one. I will say that after I built the first one, the second one took me significantly less time. So the first one took me about an hour and a half from the time that I boxed it to the time that we had it fully ready to go with the monitor on. The second one I was able to do in like 40 minutes just because I'd already done it once. But overall, it's nothing crazy. I think it's something that anyone can assemble this. Just follow the directions. It's very easy to assemble as long as you just go step by step and just know that it's going to take you an hour and a half to 2 hours. If you carve out that time, then I think that anyone can assemble it. Just follow the directions, just like a Lego piece. And once you get it done, you're rewarded by being able to use it. That's always the fun part about building gym equipment is, once I get this thing built, I can try it out, get a gnarly pump going, and get a good workout. So overall, I really love this machine. I think I would highly recommend it for anyone that is looking to buy the Air Rhino. I think that you're going to love it. I think it's going to add some versatility to your program. We'll do a lot of squats. We'll do a lot of leg press. We'll do a lot of hack squats, a lot of lunging type movements. But this just gives you a little more variety, a little more unique stimulus that you can program so many different ways. And that's what I want to kind of talk about next are some different fun ways that you can program this into your training. So you can train a lot of different exercises on this, but you can also, from a coach's perspective, you can program this for strength. You can program it for isolation. You can program it for conditioning. So if you're going to program it for strength, what I would do for the most time, if you're doing bigger exercises like deadlifts or you're doing bigger exercises like squats, I would engage the Rhino mode. That's going to give you that magnetic resistance that's going to accommodate to you. So you're going to have 10 different people that are training at 10 different strength levels. And depending on how hard that individual pushes into the plate, and say you're doing a belt squat and you're driving the ground away, it's going to accommodate to your strength curve and it's going to give you that amount of resistance. Now, when you're using Rhino mode, what I would probably say is probably stay in that like 3 to 6 rep range, maybe sets of 8 on like a heavy belt squat, depending on your strength level and your fitness. You can maybe get up to sets of 10 over time, but for most people, I think that 3 to 8 rep range when you're using Rhino mode on belt squats, on deadlifts, on those bigger compound movements is really going to be the sweet spot. You're trying to focus on max force production. You're trying to be explosive. So when you're deadlifting, you're trying to drive the ground away. You're trying to push your feet into the platform. You're trying to be as explosive as possible. Now, you can also program this as an accessory movement, doing things like isolation, doing things like push-ups, doing things like dips, doing things like pull-ups, doing things like bicep curls, upright rows, lunges. There's lots of variations that you can do, and you may or may not want Rhino mode on. So say, for example, that you're doing a bicep curl. I mean, if you just have the flywheel, that's plenty of resistance for most people. You might want to turn Rhino mode off for doing that. You're doing a upright row, same thing. You might only want the air resistance because you're not trying to 1 rep max on an upright row or bicep curl, or for most times. But it's a really good way that you can mix some isolation in. I really love bicep curls on this. I think that it almost feels like every rep is like a last couple reps. So say you're doing a set of dumbbell curls and the last 2 or 3 reps are where it gets really hard. On the Rhino, it's almost like all 10 of your reps are heavy. It's those last couple reps. So it's different because it's that only concentric resistance. There's no eccentric, so it is very different. But overall, I do really like the Rhino for accessory exercises like bicep curls, upright rows, lunges, and different variations like that. You can also program the Rhino for conditioning. And this is another way that you can use this machine that, again, is so versatile. So you can go and you can set intervals, say that you're doing belt squat intervals and you want to do 30 seconds of work and 30 seconds of rest. Say that you want to do a 10 by 10, you want to do some German volume training. You can program it for that, deadlifts or belt squats. There's so many different unique ways that you can program this machine. I think that it works really well for strength. It works really well for accessory, and it works really well for conditioning. So you want to do like an AMRAP and you're doing the rower, you're doing a skier, and you're doing a belt squat, and you're going 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. It would work really well in a setup like that where you can get that conditioning stimulus. Depending on your strength level, you may want to leave the Rhino mode on or Rhino mode off. For a good rule of thumb, I'd say for most people, use the Rhino mode if you're trying to program it for strength and you're trying to focus on max force production. If you're using it for accessory exercises or you're using it for conditioning, that's where you may want to leave Rhino mode off and focus on moving, focus on working for that interval or working through a certain amount of reps and bringing the reps up a little higher. So overall, so versatile, and the sky is really the limit. You can get so creative with this, and that's why I think that it's such a good choice. I think that if you end up buying this, you're going to love it. You're not going to regret it because there's so much that you can do with it, and it's just different. It's just there's no better way to describe it. You know, when people come in and they try it for the first time, and, you know, when we always get new equipment, we're always really excited for clients to try it because I'm a freaking gym head. I love gym equipment. I love new gym equipment, and kind of just having people experience it for the first time. And there's no better way to describe this Rhino, this Rogue Air Rhino, is that it's just different. Try it out. It's so hard to, you're doing a belt squat and you got Rhino mode on, you're pushing the ground away and it's everything you got. It's just totally different from anything that I've done. And I really love it, and I would highly recommend it. So if you guys have any questions, I love to answer them. Just let me know down in the comment section below, whether it is about the design, whether it's about the assembly, whether it's about how to program this. Let me know. I'd love to help out any way that I can. And like I said, if you do want to pick up an Air Rhino after listening to the review today, go order yours through my affiliate link down in the comment section below. It doesn't change the price that you pay. It does help support the channel so I can keep doing reviews like this. And if you do end up doing that, like I said, I want to help you out since you guys are helping me out. Send a screenshot of your order to jordan@fitgrindreviews.com, and I will send you my full guide on the Air Rhino, how to program it, in-depth workouts that you can do, different supersets that I love to do. I'll give you my full guide for free so you can incorporate it into your training program and make some awesome progress. So thanks for watching the review today, guys. I'll leave some videos to go check on the top of the screen here next. Check those out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.